A cop must protect a witness just before an important testimony. When the witness is gunned down, he'll stop at nothing to find the killers in Bullitt. Welcome to Gutter Trash, episode 160, Bullitt. My name is Eric.
I'm Jason.
Try to amp it up there.
Yeah?
Because I feel like I'm about to pass out.
I feel like you may have passed out earlier.
No, not really.
For a second. It looked like you were asleep.
No, I was good.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I caught you with your eyes closed.
No.
Well, your lack of caffeine maybe is what's bringing you down.
Could be. But I've been without for a couple weeks. But
it's impressive.
I've brought myself down to minimal amounts of caffeine, and some days completely without. I get headaches every day still.
Yeah.
And today I feel like I really needed it. Jones and bad for a Coke or a Pepsi or coffee, tea, anything.
Right.
Anything with caffeine.
Even just like Tylenol and chocolate. And
yeah.
whatever. I'm sorry.
It's alright.
Well, I wish you luck.
Thank you. I'm trying to, I don't know what I'm doing.
Trying to overcome your addiction.
Maybe. I don't know. I've done it before in the past. It seemed easier in the past.
What spurred you to give up caffeine this time around?
This time around it was because I got sick.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I really felt that, I should probably, just drink more orange juice. And, maybe some hot tea rather than coffee and
sodas.
Pepsi.
Yeah.
So I just figured that, since I gotta go a couple days without caffeine anyway, to help, clear my cold or whatever it was I had, maybe I should just, continue to,
cleanse your body.
Yeah, to make that change. I've been trying to make some changes in my life.
Well, that's good.
I'm failing at each.
Aw. Well, every hurdle is also a stepping stone, as they say.
I know, yeah. Or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, who cares? Nobody cares about this.
We care. I care. I wish you well. I I try not to drink too much caffeine. Drink some tea here and there, but I don't like being all amped up. I like being slowed down.
Right.
That's what I like.
I don't know. Like, if there was ever a time where I was amped up on caffeine, I don't know where that draw came from. But,
wait, don't you just tell me about your story there, Eric? I'll just do a little whittling while you spin your yarn.
Anyway. Yeah, like, every time I drink caffeine, it's pretty much just to be slightly less sleepy.
Right.
Like
it's not to be, like...
Yeah.
It's amped up.
To equalize.
Right. Yeah, it's all about moderation. That's why the Buddhists drink caffeine.
Yeah.
The green tea. Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Well, they're all about the middle path on everything, so...
Right.
I could see them not having Red Bulls, but...
Right.
Maybe like a little tea, a little...
Yeah,
maybe a mellow yellow.
I love a tea.
Mm-hmm.
I love tea. Tea is so good.
You're a tea head.
I am a tea head. I just, wish it wasn't such a pain in the ass to try to make.
Oh, tea?
Well, I mean, when I go into, like, a Speedway, in order to just get a tea, I have to fill a cup with hot water, and I have to put the tea bag in there, and I have to let it steep, and I have to wait, and, but if I want a coffee, I can just pour a cup of coffee.
Right. Yeah.
Why can't they just make,
Oh.
why can't they just brew tea?
Oh. Is it...
You can do that in a coffee pot. I mean...
Is there something like maybe it loses some of its flavor or caffeination after it's sitting there? Or how
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. I see what you mean. Well, you're as a fellow on the go, you mean?
Right, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Let's say, because making tea at home is pretty fun.
Well, yeah, I mean, but, when I'm on my way to work, I don't have 10 minutes to sit there and wait for tea.
Right.
You
can just get an iced tea out of the little beverage
but
cooler.
I don't want iced tea. I want hot tea.
And that's another thing that bothers me. It's not iced tea, even though it says it on there. It's chilled tea. There's no ice in there. They don't say iced Pepsi when you pull a Pepsi out of the freezer.
They say ice cold.
Oh, well, exactly. I would be okay with ice cold tea. But it says iced. There's no ice. There never was any.
It's not iced. It's ice. Iced tea.
It says iced.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I just got one.
Alright.
I got one. I got one tonight. And there were liars on my package.
Well, at one point in the process, it had to be on ice, right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Alright, I don't know.
Who knows? These are
Retarded topics to be talking about.
what we could be talking about.
Bullitt.
Starring Steve McQueen.
Yes.
Mr. Roper.
And Mr. Roper, yes. And Mel from Mel's Diner.
Yeah. Was that Mel?
At the very beginning?
Was
The
it?
very, very beginning, yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah. The guy waiting in the parking garage?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, I loved Mel on Mel's Diner, and Alice and Flo.
Yep. Vic Tayback. I wasn't sure because he was only in it for about 5 seconds.
Wow.
But he was listed in the credits.
Wow, and you recognized him.
Yep.
That's insane. Yeah, because...
This is the type of movie that can have a Vic Tayback in it for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And the type of movie that can have a Robert Duvall in it for about a minute.
Yeah, and he has, like, no lines.
Yeah. There's like maybe 2 lines. Thanks, detective.
They made a phone call.
Yeah. Where to, buddy?
Yeah, that's too bad. He has so much more than that to give.
Maybe this was like super early in his career.
Had to be.
Right?
It had to be.
Yeah, because I think True Grit was like one of his first big roles, which I think came after this movie, actually. So
Yeah, this one was 68, is that right?
67, maybe?
68. Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever.
But still...
Well, they filmed it in 67. It's called post-production.
Yeah. It's true. And then they all had a 69. So, they just kept the numbers flowing. Norman Fell and Robert Duvall having 69. You've all pictured it.
I'm sick now.
Yeah. You should drink some orange juice.
He really goes for tea.
Teabagging Norman Fell, is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Oh.
That's what Mrs. Roper did every night.
Oh, with her enormous leathery ball sack.
I have to make an aside.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently our good friend Joe Grunenwald has been listening to some back episodes that he has missed out on.
Oh, of our show.
Of our show. And left a comment on the website for the episode of where we reviewed The Hunter.
Oh, the Darwin Cook one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Saying that he is absolutely surprised about how many times you say rape in the fudge tunnel during that episode.
Really?
Yep.
That's a phrase I throw around like Halloween candy.
You're a dirty person.
I am. Deep inside,
You're
there's
a filthy
pit.
human being.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you should see the drawing I'm working on now. I have not completed yet. It's horrifying.
Yeah.
It's nice to get that out of your system every once in a while, though. Like,
Well, yeah.
I'm not into that. like in any aspect of life.
Right.
But it's nice to, when it seeps in to the crevices,
right.
You gotta get it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's what keeps you sane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, I don't know where Joe, why he is so surprised
And why he's adopted that holier than thou attitude.
Right.
I've seen.
Yeah, he's not much better.
I've heard filthy malarkey come out of his pie hole. Don't you try and be so judgmental, Mr. G.
So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there and get confirmation that you are in fact a horrible person.
Oh yeah, I will side with you on that one.
All right, so back to Mr. Roper.
Yeah, back to the teabagging. On topic. No, there was no teabagging in this movie.
Nope.
In fact, I would go on a limb and say there wasn't much action at all.
No, not really. Yeah. There was a car chase.
Yeah, it was pretty cool car chase.
Pretty good car chase, yeah.
I wouldn't say it's the best one I've ever seen.
Nope.
And I've heard nothing but how amazing this car chase is.
Right, yep. Yeah, it's, 40 years of movie making has evolved the car chase well beyond this.
Yeah, I mean, I could see in 1968 this being maybe the most badass car chase.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Well, did they even have car chases up to this point?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there had to have been some 50s, like, gangster car chase.
There probably was.
Probably nothing, like, filmed as well, maybe. But.
Probably not, yeah. I mean, this had some decent stuff, some point of view shots. Definitely probably the first movie that has ever done the whole, chase through the hills of San Francisco where you see the underside of the car, ramp up over a hill.
Right.
It does make me, makes my shocks hurt, watching stuff like that happen.
Yeah, like, ooh, I know, it takes me out of the movie for a little bit. I'm like, ooh, I wonder how they had to repair that car. I wonder how many cars they had to use. Like, oh, that's terrible. I couldn't imagine my Saturn surviving any one of those jumps.
Right. And I also liked little things like during the chase where little bits and pieces of the car would fall off of it.
Right.
You usually never see that. Usually it's
it's pristine all the way through.
It's pristine all the way through, even when they ram into other cars
right.
and, drive through an exploding, gasoline truck.
You're not making fun of Twister there, are you? Because that happened at the end of
Twister. I was unaware.
Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt drive their pickup truck through, and exactly that, an exploded gasoline 18-wheeler without a scratch on the car. It's amazing.
Did they have trucks in that movie too?
Trucks?
Yeah.
You mean like
pickup trucks.
Oh no, that's what they drove.
That's
a
pickup truck. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
See, that's not a good car for a chase.
I know, right? Well, maybe. Well, it could go into why they had a pickup truck, but I would.
Oh, I know why they had a pickup truck.
They had the bed full of Dorothy's.
Yeah. They were trying to get to the tornado to unleash them.
Yeah, unleash the Dorothy.
They could map a tornado.
Measure.
Whatever that was.
Yeah, exactly. And perfect an earlier warning system.
Right. I just don't remember the specific incident of them driving through a gasoline truck.
Nor should you.
No, because I'm never going to watch that movie ever again.
Spoiler alert. I think Twister is about 100 times better than the movie Bullitt.
I'm never going to watch Bullitt again either. So there you go. Once is good enough for me for both.
Yeah, disappointed.
A little disappointing.
Yeah.
Not a terrible movie by any means.
No, not terrible.
Just really slow.
Very slow. Which I don't mind.
I don't mind either.
But it just seemed boring in this movie.
It was, yeah, it was boring. It was just, I think when you have a movie that slow, or when you have a start that slow, you kind of want to amp up to something. But this really amped up to nothing.
Yeah, really. Yeah. It really did. Like I think the most action-packed, like, intense scene is the car chase.
Right.
And it's, like, maybe 2/3 of the way in, something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty well into it.
And then it's all just slow after that, too.
Right. And, you know, I mean, I think it would have been better maybe, 'cause it seemed like there was a lot of repetitive stuff that was happening. Just like, you know, seeing the same scenes again, you know, just slightly different.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, did we really need to see the cops look at every single person in two separate long lines waiting for a plane?
I know. Well, it says on the back, I was reading the back, and it says, you know, like, blah, 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 blah. It crackles with authenticity, with crisp dialogue and to-the-letter hospital, morgue, and police procedures.
Yeah.
And, like, they really did, like, try to get you in the feel of the entire, you know, like, of being there.
Right.
But it was like, you know, it was almost too much. It was like,
Right.
Here's every boring thing that could happen on the job.
Right.
You know, and well, let's watch them all right now.
Yeah. Yeah, here's the thing about realism and real life. Real life is boring.
That's why we watch movies called Bullitt.
Right.
I mean, if this was a movie called Paperclip, you know, that might be what we would expect to see. But
I bet you Paperclip is far more action-packed than Bullitt.
yeah, and like that's another thing on the back of the box. It's kind of misleading because there's 4 pictures.
Right.
You see a giant explosion here during a car chase.
Right.
And you're like, wow, badass. You see a mostly naked lady making out with Steve McQueen. You're like, wow, badass.
Right.
Then you see Steve McQueen like hopping off of a moving airplane.
Right.
Or maybe it's not even moving at that point, but he's hopping off the plane. But then you see off to the side a picture of Steve McQueen on the telephone.
Right.
And I think that is a much more... They should have just got rid of the other 3 in the back. Because Steve McQueen talking on the telephone is... like,
it happens more.
yeah, there's a lot of scenes of just a guy on the phone, or like a scene of a bunch of people standing around staring at something while no one is talking. There's a lot of those. Like what was that thing? The telecopier machine?
The 1968 version of a fax machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, there is a scene where they literally watch a fax come in.
Yeah, in real time.
In real time.
Just, you know, so you can get the feel of being there.
Yep. Yeah, you know, there's such a thing as, you know, a deliberate pace to build tension.
Right.
This is just a deliberate pace to show you the doldrums of office work. And, all the menial bullshit that you have to go through as a police officer.
Yeah. Oh, it's ridiculous. And like we both said, I didn't hate it. You didn't hate it.
No, yeah. It's just...
It had enough, like, good things that,
Yeah.
you know, was watchable.
Yeah. It's an intriguing story, you know, some good twists. Man, it just could have been about, 45 minutes shorter.
Yeah. Or 45 times better.
Yeah, yeah. I think shortening the movie would have helped it a ton.
You know, I wonder too if they just like filmed this awesome car chase and like, now what do we do with this?
Right.
And they like tried to write something around it, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
I love how no one talks during the car chase either.
Right.
Like there's 2 guys being chased by Steve McQueen and they're just both kind of like staring straight ahead and
Right.
they're not sweating, they're not yelling, they're just,
Right.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
And, the one just, continuously checks his rear view.
Yeah.
You know, kind of smirks a little bit when he thinks he's lost him.
Yeah. He doesn't even like laugh or anything, just
Right,
a
yeah.
little smile. See, I mean, it's got some subtlety to it.
Right.
That's pretty well done, but it just seems like it wants to be an action movie.
Right. But they didn't have action movies back then to know what to do.
Yeah. They're like, this is so much more exciting than, you know, I don't know. What was big in the mid-60s for action movies?
I don't know. They had James Bond movies.
Yeah, really, yeah. They had James Bond for a decade before that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Although, yeah, I guess to be fair, yeah, Have you ever really sat down and watched an old James Bond movie?
Not in the last, 10 years.
They're kind of boring, too.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd rather watch a special about James Bond movies where they show you all the exciting things.
Yes, the highlights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It kind of reminds me, too, of, a Quentin Tarantino action movie I could equate this in a lot of areas to Death Proof, because, there's a big, exciting car chase, but it, takes a while to get to.
Right.
But this is this is like a Tarantino action movie without, clever dialogue.
Right.
It's with every time there'd be somebody sitting around talking and saying interesting things in a Tarantino movie, this is everyone sitting around staring at a fax machine.
I would almost agree with you, except for the fact that I like this better than Death Proof.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
See, I really like Death Proof. I really like that. Now that is an awesome, awesome car chase.
It's a fine car chase. What I didn't like is everything around the car chase.
Yeah.
Because you said interesting dialogue and clever and witty characters. Death Proof doesn't have that. Because you see, you watch a Pulp Fiction,
right,
or a Reservoir Dogs, or Kill Bill, Volume 2 in particular, which is the slower of the two movies.
Right.
And those characters are interesting, and you don't give a shit that you're watching John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson sit in a booth and talk to each other for 20 minutes, because they're saying some really cool shit, and it's really interesting and shot well. Death Proof is the worst characters talking about uninteresting bullshit for 50 minutes with a 10-minute car chase.
I like it a little bit better than that, but I would definitely say, yeah, his other films have more interesting characters in it.
I would listen to, who was it, David Carradine? John Carradine? Who's in that movie?
Kurt Russell.
No, Kill Bill.
Oh, David Carradine.
There, yeah. I would listen to him talk about Superman for 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Than anything that happened in Death Proof.
Other than the car chase.
Because by that point, I just didn't give a shit anymore.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I really enjoyed Death Proof. You know what it was, too? I think I didn't see Death Proof until 2 years after it left the theater.
Right.
And I think I'd heard a lot of people say, yeah, well, it's really boring, that sort of thing. So my expectations were probably lowered sufficiently. But, yeah.
Right.
Huh. But other than the car chase,
this is. It's an interesting premise. It's good characters. It's a lot of nothing all around that.
I wonder if we met, because there's one scene where there's a couple people talking that was very hard to listen to any of the dialogue because of the visuals on the screen at the time.
Okay.
There's a scene where Steve McQueen is talking to the guy with the yellow sunglasses. And I wonder if, some really special, intricate, essential is the word I'm looking for, dialogue happened during that scene that I just missed because it cuts back and forth between those two.
Right.
And when you see Steve McQueen, you see, a poster with a couple of naked ladies behind him.
Right.
Which is a little distracting.
Yeah.
And then when it cuts to the other guy,
he's ridiculous.
He's ridiculous. He looks like James Hetfield and Tom Cruise had a love child, and he stole Bono's sunglasses and was wearing them. And it was so outlandish, I couldn't pay attention to either one of their dialogue.
I don't think we missed anything. You're right. It was hard to pay attention to what was actually happening.
Right.
But I think he just sort of passed along some information about the person that the witness.
Okay. Phone calls he made or something?
Yeah, the phone call he made.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they were talking about. I that's all I can remember is he was talking about the phone call he made to his girlfriend or something.
Right.
But yeah, I got a little lost with all the everything else that was going on.
Yeah, pretty sure that was it, and I don't think it was essential, because, the movie does fill in the rest of it, afterwards.
Right.
So, yeah, we didn't miss much with that. Nothing that would have improved,
Right.
Our experience, I guess.
Yeah, it's just very. There's just so many things that didn't need to be in there. Like, there's a scene that goes on and on where the detective or the lieutenant and his sidekick are going through all this luggage, and they're like,
right,
pulling out every piece of evidence, and instead of like having it be like 10 seconds long, it's like
they go through every piece of
yeah,
evidence.
it's like 5 minutes long, and you're like, okay, we get it.
And then follow that up with the autopsy, where the coroner is describing every little thing that has happened to this body.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I mean, we don't need all of that. You can just say, oh, he's dead.
And there's a very like ER-esque scene in the operating room when the guy's losing his heart rate, and there's like the camera work shows like there's like a blurry guy in the foreground, like obscuring a lot of the action or the visuals, and it's very real looking because like, oh, get out of the way, but yeah, it's just I don't know. I think it's just mostly problematic, but it had some. There's some gems under the problems.
Yeah. There's a good movie in there. Mm-hmm. Maybe it just needs to be tightened up, and it needs a little reworking in some of the action aspects, I think, or more action anyway.
Maybe Michael Bay will remake it.
There we go. Yeah. But I was kind of thinking about this. I was actually thinking about Michael Bay a little bit while we were watching this. And that, if Michael Bay were to make a movie like this, the first scene would be like a gigantic explosion, and just, it would start off with, the car chase, and then, like, later on in the movie, there would be, like, a mega car chase.
Right, yeah.
With, 500 explosions.
So that would be awesome.
It would be awesome, but it's also a little overkill, I think.
Yeah.
And so I was starting to think about this movie and how, maybe the fact that they took sort of that deliberate slow pace, helps it. Because, by the time we actually get to the action, maybe, it's like we're amped, we're excited, it's building up to this. This was before I realized that the movie was not going to be that.
Right. And that there was going to be 45 minutes after the big action scene.
Right, yeah.
And I mean, they do, like you said, they build up a lot of tension, and like, a lot of the scenes that have action, there's no, there's no music like trying to cue all your emotions and reactions. I mean, it's like musicless a lot of the times. Yeah. Other than the like crazy, funky, jazzy stuff,
which was good.
I love that. Yeah, I really do love the music. But I mean, yeah, they do a good job of toning down the music and scenes that maybe it didn't really need it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also thinking a little bit about like Die Hard, which doesn't necessarily start like a big thing. Like it builds up to it. But then once it hits, once you have that car chase, it doesn't let up from that point on.
Yeah, you're on the edge of your seat.
Right.
Excellent film.
Yeah.
Excellent film.
So I guess maybe this was a good precursor to
movies like that.
Movies like that. Yeah. But,
I can see that. I could see how this would be like a door opener for other things.
Right.
Where people are reconsidering what can be defined as action movie.
Right.
Or what elements you can put into an action movie and still have it be an action
movie. Yeah. Yeah, I think, disappointing is pretty much the key word behind this.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's a fine movie.
Just not as... Don't believe the hype, as Flava Flav said.
Yeah.
Maybe he was talking about this film.
Could be.
Yeah, possibly. I did really like the title sequence at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
That was really interesting.
Yeah.
It was very trippy, but not like psychedelic, but like just like...
he kept switching back between color and black and white,
and like the letters would zoom in, and there would be an image in the letters, and like it would be the scene you're watching, and then the next credit would roll in, and there'd be a scene happening in those letters, and it was really strange.
It was a good, yeah, it was a, man,
Yeah.
I'm torn.
Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah.
I like you said earlier, I don't think I'd ever watch it a second time. Like, it's not amazing.
No.
But yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah. This is, the only Steve McQueen movie I've ever watched.
I've seen the original Blob, that's the only other one. It was like, he was like 10 years younger in that one, I think, but
Right.
yeah. I like that a lot. Because it's campy sci-fi.
Right. I've never seen it. I've seen the remake.
Oh, yeah. I like both. I think they're both good.
I like the remake.
Mm-hmm.
We looked through his credits. I did not recognize a single movie of his that I'd ever seen before. So,
And you say that you looked up the director as well, and he just passed away.
he just died in 2011.
Excuse me.
Didn't direct a ton of things, but directed some memorable other movies, such as Breaking Away, which is a bicycle racing movie from 1979 or so, and Krull.
I think the only one I've ever seen is An Innocent Man. I saw that when I was like a teenager.
The Tom Selleck movie.
Yeah, Tom has Sledgehammer in it too.
Really?
Yeah, I forget that guy's name. He's a crooked cop. Spoiler.
Ooh, David Rasche.
David Rasche. That's
Yeah.
it.
I like that guy.
You know, Frank Bullitt is a little like Sledgehammer, only
A little bit.
he's not as over the top.
Right.
Like, he's just like killing guys, and like the one thing that Frank Bullitt needs to do is learn how to call in for backup. He never did that once in this movie.
Nope. But at the same time, like, at the beginning of the movie, when basically the big thing that happens that, makes the rest of the movie go,
Right.
like, the big turning points, everybody's mad at him for fucking up this job that he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
None of it was his fault.
No. Yeah.
He did what he was doing.
Right.
You know, like, and, cause it's about this, witness guy who was, turning state's evidence against the mob. Bullitt and, two other cops have been assigned to the case. Bullitt's in charge. They're keeping watch on the guy in shifts. The one guy, he's there at the room with the witness, and, someone calls up saying that they're these specific people. Sounds funny, so he calls Bullitt. Bullitt says, "I'll be there in 5 minutes." And then bad shit happens.
Right.
Yeah, none of that was Bullitt's fault at all.
The higher up, like, what's Chalmers? Was he an FBI? I forget what he was. CIA.
I don't know what he was. Yeah.
He was insinuating that Bullitt should have been there the entire time, too.
Right.
But I don't know. Why?
Why would he do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Then what's the other two cops for?
Yeah, exactly. It's one tiny room. Right, and I have 5 cops living in there.
Right, yeah. I do think, if I recall correctly, that Bullitt may be based on a real person.
Oh, really?
That there was a cop who I believe was portrayed by Mark Ruffalo in Zodiac, who was a real person. That is the basis for Bullitt and later for Dirty Harry.
Really?
Yeah. Basically, he was that sort of, don't play by the rules, rough and tumble cop.
Yeah. Like Sledgehammer.
Like Sledgehammer. But probably more like Bullitt.
They said that, I noticed at the beginning, which I thought this was going to be a spoiler. I was like, oh, great. It says it was based on a story called The Mute Witness.
Right.
And I was like, oh, great. I know something about the story that I didn't want to know.
Right.
Like, there's no mute people.
No.
Yeah.
It's a dead guy.
Yeah, that's
spoiler.
Yeah. Dead men don't talk.
Nope.
Dead men tell no tales.
And dead men don't wear plaid. The ending was upsetting. Because it doesn't really end.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a lot of closure.
No.
Yeah.
I would say none at all.
I think, this was kind of out of left field too, because, more than halfway through the film, Bullitt's girlfriend just says, like, you're surrounded by violence, and,
Yeah.
I don't know why that was thrown in, because it only really comes right back to it at the very end, and it's kind of like, he's, I don't know if it's supposed to be symbolic, but he's like, he comes home and from witnessing all this crazy violence, and he sees her, and she looks so tranquil, asleep in the bed.
Yeah.
And then he goes and washes his hands. I don't know if he's supposed to be like washing his hands of the violence or whatever. Like, but I don't know if like they were trying to throw a message in there, but it wasn't like, it didn't seem like it was a overreaching part of the story. It just seemed like kind of thrown in haphazardly.
Yeah.
So it didn't seem to work really.
Well, I think they kind of touched on it a little bit towards the beginning, where they're in bed together, and like the one cop calls to tell him that he's going home for the day or whatever.
Right.
And she's like, "What was that?" And he won't tell her.
He's like, "None of your worries, baby."
Right, yeah. So I think maybe that was also part of that whole
They're
thing.
trying to foreshadow it.
It just really seemed unnecessary.
Yeah, it really did.
In fact, everything with the girlfriend seemed unnecessary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Him going to her office, them going to dinner.
Yeah. Yeah. Them, her, yeah, why was she walking in on the crime scenes? Like, I didn't get that at all.
That was weird too. So yeah, it was, just, yeah.
It was rife with some problems.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what else,
I'd say, not really a classic. Maybe the car chase scene is pretty cool.
Right.
Definitely not the most badass car chase you'll ever see.
No.
I'm sure if you've watched, 6 episodes of Hill Street Blues, you've seen the same kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah,
like there have been thousands of car chases in movies since this point, and I'm sure each one of them have improved on it.
Fast and the Furious, dude.
There you go. There's a whole movie about it right there.
Fast 4. Fast 5.
Even The French Connection, which I think was just 10 years later than this movie, had a much better car chase than this.
Really?
There. So, actually, maybe not have even been 10, may have been like 5 after this. Gene Hackman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man. I don't know that one. I haven't seen that one.
It's a good movie.
Maybe I'll watch it.
It's one of your missed classics.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's your theme. Mine is random shit. That's my theme.
Hey, it all works.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting bored of the missed classics,
Oh.
but I'm still gonna keep them, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'll just go back to more random stuff with throwing in a missed classic. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
Huh. I kind of like your missed classics.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah, I do. I still want to watch them, but I'm also afraid that like some of them might be. I don't know what I'm doing.
Like Biodome. I saw your list. Biodome, I didn't think needs to be on there.
Well, because I was thinking Biodome, and then I was thinking after that I would pick, Join the Army or whatever that movie was.
Oh.
In the Army Now.
In the Army Now, yeah.
Yeah. But I figured, do I really want to watch 2 Pauly Shore movies back to back?
I don't know why you wouldn't.
That's true. Well, maybe we can, rather than waiting a month for me to pick those 2, you could pick one of them.
I totally
That way
could.
we could totally actually watch them almost back to back.
Oh, hit that.
All right. I don't.
That's the Pauly Shore thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
We just did the Pauly Shore hand thing. You couldn't see it. I wonder if he still does that.
I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is. I told you he's going to be in town.
Oh yeah.
We could find out.
I'm hopefully, because I get text messages from the comedy club that he's going to be at. Maybe they'll send me. You just won 4 free tickets.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Like, do they do that when no one's buying tickets? Is that
Pretty
how
much,
that?
yeah.
Okay. Then you probably will.
Yeah. Oh, I can't imagine that. I bet you that thing is probably already sold out.
Really? What's he done in the last 10 years?
Nothing.
Yeah.
But everybody still remembers him from Encino Man.
And MTV. And
MTV, yeah. Everybody knows the Weasel.
Yeah. Oh. Wow. Yeah, they do. That's well, they should. Don't fear the Weasel.
Nope.
Just like,
Just like Blue Oyster Cult said.
Yeah.
I know he did a movie at least 5 years ago, if not longer, called Pauly Shore is Dead.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I think it's been even longer than that.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to watch it, but I just never have.
Yeah, I feel like I saw it on DVD at a Meijer like 10 years ago almost. But yeah, that's really interesting. I had like Richard Lewis and other people talking about how they miss him or something. I don't know. It's very strange.
Pardon me.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Bullitt.
Bullitt.
Do it up.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yeah. It's not recommended by us, but
right.
It's also not a bad movie, technically.
Yeah. If you decide to buy it, go through Amazon.
Yeah.
And buy it through our store.
Yeah, do that. They will get the 30 cents off of the $3 it'll cost you to buy it.
And, I'm curious. I got this from the library.
Right.
Because you had problems with Netflix. They said it was delayed.
It was a very long wait.
Yeah. And I might actually watch, there's a commentary track and then there's a featurette documentary. I might watch some of that to see if they touch upon something that I didn't quite get or whatever, but we'll see.
Yeah. Before you got it from the library, I went looking for it for a used copy or something like that. And this one store I went to had it for like $6. But it wasn't even that version. It was like the version that came out in like 1997.
Oh, yeah.
It had that weird cardboard box that a lot of DVDs used to come in.
Oh, the ones that have the
snap on the side.
Oh, I hate that. That's the worst.
Those are awful.
Yeah, my Hudson Hawk was like that, I think.
Yeah.
No. Was it Hudson Hawk? I don't know. I had something like that.
I bet Hudson Hawk was like that.
Yeah.
It was one of those double-sided ones where one side is the full screen and the other side is the wide screen.
So everybody's happy.
Yep. I was like, I'm not paying $6 for this.
It's the kind with the special features of surround sound.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Animated menus.
Yeah. Right. Oh. Circle-shaped disc. That's one of the, that's a feature.
The early days of DVD.
We've come so far.
Yes, we have. Have we?
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Of course. Well,
let's take a break.
Sure.
All right.
I can say that I've lived here in honor and danger, but I'm just an animal and cannot explain a lie. Down this chain of days I wish to stay among my people. Relation now means nothing, having chosen so defined. And if death should smell my breathing as it passed beneath my window, let it lead me trembling, trembling. I own every bell that tolls me.
And welcome back to Gutter Trash.
Hello.
What up?
Nothing good.
Oh.
What's up with you?
Nothing. I mean, I've been working, all my days off this week, which is fun. Yeah.
It's Christmas money. It's spending money.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm gonna spend it on myself, though.
No.
I don't buy people shit.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's a terrible cycle to get into.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because they don't buy you shit.
Well,
You don't buy them anything
I
else.
don't know. I just, I don't want to buy people anything.
I I don't want to buy people anything either, unless it's like food or if I make them something. Like, I just don't want to give people crap, you know?
Right.
Like more stuff.
Oh, I don't care about that. I just don't want to spend the money to do that.
Sound line.
See, you're taking the pretentious route. I am just taking the poor route.
I am pretentious. And you are bored.
Yeah.
No, we're both poor. No, I've been too lazy. The only person I made anything for this year was my friend Chris, because he specifically asked me to draw him something.
Right.
And I did. And other than that, I think I'm buying my mom and my girlfriend. I think that's it.
Yeah. I'm getting something for both my parents. My dad's getting a gift card, because apparently that's all we can think of to get for him.
Right.
And I'm getting something for my friend Amanda. And I am forced to get stuff for my brothers.
Oh.
Which is also just gift cards, because who gives a shit?
I love the gift card. I mean, some people think it's impersonal, but I mean, as long as it's to something that you use, I mean, that's cool. That's very cool.
I'm fine with a gift card. I'm fine with receiving gift cards. I just don't like getting the gift cards.
Oh yeah. Like, you don't like buying them?
No. Because it feels like a cop-out.
Right. Yeah. Well, we're creative dudes. We're just lazy.
Yeah.
We should be creating things for everyone we know.
Well, I'm also 99% sure that everyone I know would not give a flying fucking shit about anything that I created for them.
You know, me and Joe and Kathleen would.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Nope.
Oh.
It's also too late anyway, so.
Yeah, no, it's too late. Well, for next year. Yeah.
Still working on yours from last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're bad at this.
Yeah. We should make our own religion.
Yeah?
Yeah, and we'll have no holidays.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No holidays, no birthdays.
I like that.
Oh wait, that's the Jehovah's Witness.
Okay, yeah. Now let's become Jehovah's Witnesses.
Alright.
So you done anything this week? Or, read anything? Watched anything?
I've read some stuff. Nothing nothing exciting. I read, what did I read? I read the first issue of The Defenders. The Matt Fraction, Terry Dodson new series.
Was that good?
It was alright. Some weird stuff in it. At the bottom of most every page was like a weird sentence.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like, on a couple of pages, it was like, just like, you remember in old comics, like at the bottom of the page, it might say, continued on next page.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it had some of those, or like, one page that was, the next page was like a 2-page ad.
Right.
So it said, continued on the next 2 pages. But then it also said something like, just weird shit, like, about the characters themselves, like,
Not editorial comments, though?
no, like just weird shit. Like Casanova type shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it is Matt Fraction.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't realize. I just barely flipped through it just to see what the art looked like. But
Right. Yeah, it was fine. I'll probably pick up a couple more issues at least.
it sold really well.
Yeah.
Surprised.
Well, I am surprised too. Especially since you said that, everybody hates Matt Fraction, apparently.
Oh,
Or at least
did
everyone at Mavericks.
I may have, did I say that?
You said that, everybody bitches about Iron Man.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I forget that was him. That's him and Salvador de la Roca, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't seem to like that. The Iron Man fans don't seem to like it.
Started trying to read a book. One without pictures.
Wow.
Well, my dad, had his surgery, last week. So that's happened since the last episode.
Pretty major.
Yeah, he's home, and, I guess he's not doing great.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes, he's just being really slow and very tired. Been sleeping a lot, so just sort of really
He's worn down.
a little worn down.
But he's recovering, though. Just slowly.
Yeah, he came home the next day after his surgery. And I guess there were some complications even then where they didn't really want to let him come home on Tuesday.
Right.
But then I guess something happened during the morning and they finally said that he could go. And I picked him up to take him home. And when I dropped him off, he was, well, why don't you go out and get us some lunch? And he wanted Burger King. So, I went out and I was driving my mom's car, so I had to bring it back to her here at her work.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, yeah, he was being kind of a dick at the hospital, just being really cranky to the point where she threatened to just leave him there. And he was kind of being cranky on the drive home,
And that's not, like... That's
we just pretty much assumed that, well, he must be feeling fine.
And like he's always cranky then?
He's always complaining about something.
But I mean, like, not to the point where your mom wants to usually leave him places, right?
No. Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they seem like they get along pretty well.
Yeah, but, yeah, I don't know. I don't see it.
Like, I don't know what they see in each other.
Yeah, I truly don't. Yeah. And sadly, I've also seen that I am more personality-wise like my dad, so that totally explains why I am single.
Hey, he found a lady.
Yeah. I won't.
No, there's the attitude you need to switch around for your New Year's resolution.
No.
Positive attitude, positive outlook. You gotta think positive, and things will happen. You said you won't. You say, I will. That's what you say. See? That's how it works. You gotta think positive.
So anyway. So, I will say, he wanted Burger King. I went to Burger King, and I'm pulling into the drive-thru, and on the other side of the parking lot, a cop had pulled over a truck into the parking lot there. And then by the time I made my way around to the pay window, the cop was hauling the guy out of the truck and into the back of the squad car. So I got to see someone get arrested.
You think he freaked out because they put too many pickles on his burger and he requested no pickles? Or?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Because they were pulled over into the parking lot. So he was not already in the Burger King.
Well, you never know. Maybe he got pissed and yelled about his pickles and then he drove around the block to calm down.
So anyway.
That probably didn't happen. Probably did not happen.
So I went back to my parents' house to help take care of my dad, because I took 2 days off of work to do that. Mm. And he had already, gone around the house and emptied all the trash cans, and he had put, the big trash can out behind his car, because the next day was trash day.
Right.
So, he was just being stubborn and trying to do too much, and I think he was kind of pissed that I was there, even though he had asked me to be there. But then he wound up taking a 2-hour nap, and I don't know. And I guess since then he's just not been doing too great, but he's been going back to work.
He's still overdoing things.
I think so.
Yeah. I'd imagine, if you were laid up in the hospital, when you got out, you'd want to feel like you were capable of doing your old routine.
Right, but, when you're 70 years old, maybe you should also just take it easy.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. So, I don't know. And then I guess they also found something with his blood tests that maybe is not so great. So, he's still got that. So maybe that's also affecting him a little bit.
Well, maybe he's alright.
I hope so too. Even though he, like I said, he is kind of a dick. But he's still my dad, so.
Right, yeah.
So that's been going on.
It's pretty big stuff.
Yeah.
Life and death kind of things.
Yeah.
Nothing that exciting on my front.
That's good.
My mom did tell me something pretty amazing yesterday.
You have another brother.
I have a secret brother! He's been in the basement for 35 years. No, we were talking about, she was talking about this, these kids that she knew when she was growing up, and like, she told me this horrible story about, how she went over to their house and they were making like their homemade chocolate for Christmas or whatever. And,
this is gonna go in a very bad place, isn't it?
Not as bad as you might be thinking.
Right.
There's no poop.
Okay, that's exactly what I was thinking.
No two hillbillies, one cup story. Cause she's from the backwoods of Kentucky. And, she lived in a holler, because it's not even a city or not even a town.
Was it Moonshine Holler?
It was Stinking Creek Holler. They named so because of all the deer carcasses the hunters would leave in the creek and smell up the town. But she went over to her friend's house and they were making Christmas chocolates, and my mom was telling me this while she was making Christmas chocolates, so that's what reminded her. And she was like, "Yeah, we'll call the girl Sally Mae, because I don't know their name." She's like, "I went over to Sally Mae's, and we were making chocolate, and I was eating some, and it was so good." But she's like, "I got real thirsty because we were eating all this candy," and her friend Sally was drinking water, and my mom was like, "Can I have a glass of water too?" And apparently, this is like the mid to late 40s in the backwoods of Kentucky. So I don't even know if they had, I'm sure they had no running water. They maybe had a well, but they, she offered her a glass of water that was in this bowl, this like giant bowl of water that was on their kitchen table, and they just had this ladle in the middle of the bowl.
Right.
And apparently everyone from the family, when they were thirsty, they just go over, pick up the ladle, and have a sip of water, and put the ladle back in there's no glasses. I mean, her friend Sally wasn't having a glass of water. She was having a ladle of water. And so she drank my mom drank some of the ladle water, and she said, like, when she sipped it, she said it was water, but it was almost like this, like, thick, slimy residue, like, like in the ladle. I'm sorry. And she said she couldn't help it because she was so thirsty she had to drink it. And then when she went home, she told her mom, she was like, I was just over at Sally Mae's, and, we had, Christmas chocolates. And her mom's like, "You didn't drink out of the ladle water, did you?" And she was like, "Yeah, I had to." And she was like, "Oh, that's horrible." So there was that, but the good side of the story was that she said also when she was at Sally Mae's, she was like, but she's like, they had this really neat room too, because they were really poor and their house wasn't very well insulated. But Sally Mae's brother sold Grit magazine. The very Grit that you would see ads for in Silver Age comics, like, "Hey, boys, sell Grit." And I've asked people over the years, everyone's seen those ads, that's that age, like Jack and his friends, or like our customers that are older, but no one said they'd ever even seen Grit.
Right.
But my mom said, they wallpapered their ceiling and their rooms with pages from Grit magazine that they didn't sell.
Really?
And she said she would just walk through and you could like just anywhere, you could stand anywhere and like look up the ceiling and like read a comic or like an article about something. It's just, it was so amazing. But their house was like Grit magazine everywhere. And like a giant ladle of water soup. So that was really interesting. I was like, wow, Grit.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Yeah. But that's pretty much the only fun story I've heard this week.
Alright.
Equal parts disgusting and fun.
Yeah. For the listener, I almost vomited.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
That's alright.
I saw you changing colors. It was. But, yeah. Anything else fun?
No.
No? Should I just pick a comic?
Yeah, I guess. Nobody wants to hear me complain or Be a sad bitch.
Well, you can vent. Vent away.
No, I'm not gonna. Because it's not venting, I'm just gonna be a sad bitch.
Oh. Well, turn that frown upside down, as Bobby McFerrin would say.
Nope. On both counts.
Oh. Well, as I told you before, earlier today, I wasn't sure, even when I got here today, what my comic book pick was.
Alright.
Because I read what I thought was going to be my comic book pick, and I just, spoiler alert, did not like it at all.
Okay.
And I was like, well, maybe that might still make for a good episode because,
Maybe I'll like it.
Yeah, maybe we'll like it, or every once in a while it's alright to review something we didn't really like.
Right.
But after watching the movie today, I think I want to pick something that maybe we'll both like.
Okay.
So, I'm picking something I've never read yet.
All
And
right.
I believe you have a copy of, so I can just read during the week here.
We'll find out.
The first volume of Echo by Terry Moore.
I don't know which issues those are,
But you do have them?
but I do have them.
Okay.
Yeah. I have single issues.
I looked in the trade today to find out in case this very problem arose.
Ooh.
It does not say.
Yes.
I'm guessing 5 or 6 based
Or
on the
it's
size.
usual, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, nowhere in it does it say what issues.
Yeah. I just recently bought that for my friend Amanda for her birthday last month. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I can dig those up somewhere.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, since you're not going to pick that other book, I have been dying to know what it is.
Oh,
since
really?
You've told
Okay.
me about it. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to read this because as the issues would come out, I was like, wow, that looks neat, but we'd sold out of the first one. And I did not recognize, I recognized the writer's name, but I didn't place him correctly because I wasn't thinking of him as the same writer as the writer of the Nightly News. It was Jonathan Hickman's, Red Wing
Okay.
from Image. But, it's easily one of the worst comics I've ever read.
Worse than Nightly News?
It made Nightly News look like From Hell.
Wow.
Yeah. It was just predictable, boring, lame, and completely vacant of a character that I liked.
Okay.
Yeah, just awful.
Okay.
Like everything that happened you could see coming pages away.
Wow.
And I highly recommend never reading it, to anyone.
Yeah, wow, I'm glad you didn't pick it.
Yeah.
Because I really don't ever want to read anything about that guy again.
Would you have vetoed it?
I don't know that I would have vetoed it, but I would have not been looking forward to having to read it.
The artist, I can't remember the artist's name. I wouldn't say he's amazing. I wouldn't even say he's great, but like he had like
It's
elements.
not Ben Rottencock, is it?
No, it's I didn't recognize his name,
Okay, alright.
but he kind of looks like he's really into Frank Quitely and Jeff Darrow,
Okay.
but he's not. I mean, he's not quite either one of them, so he's got his own flavor. But like that's the vein of it. It's like kind of sketchy, detailed. Yeah. But I mean, like even his art didn't save it. It was just horrible.
See, now I'm actually curious to read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's in my car, because when I drove over here, I thought I might pick it, so I was just going to loan it to you. I can loan it to you.
You know what? Fuck yeah, I'll read it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, not for the show.
Right.
Yeah,
Just to see.
Just to read it, yeah.
Well, be careful with it, because it is being returned to Mavericks.
Okay. I will treat it like I treated comics back in 1992.
Nice. Back when they had foil covers. And
Yes.
well, you don't have to worry about opening the bag on this one, because it's already been opened, apparently.
Okay.
So it's not sealed in the bag anymore. Like all comics were in the 90s.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, check it out.
I just want to say, because I just now remember this, I had a friend. Like, I didn't have too many friends in high school and junior high that read comics when I did.
Right.
But I did have, a couple, and one of them lent me one of his comics, and I think it was just like, Deathstroke #1 or something like that.
Yeah.
And, so I started reading it, and he flipped out, because of the way that I was holding the comic.
Oh my gosh. You didn't have your tweezers and your
No. I'm going to demonstrate to you. And,
Should I describe to the listener?
see if we can try to describe it.
He's picking up the
But
comic.
I've got a comic in my hand, and the way I would normally read it is like this.
You're just flipping through.
Just flipping through it. Maybe I would hold both covers,
Right.
and flip it like this.
You're not quite manhandling it, but
I'm
you're
not manhandling
but you're
it.
not treating it as if it's a 100-year-old artifact.
Right, yeah. But, I'm reading it, and, like with my own comics for sure, certainly I'll do.
You'll bend the cover back a
I'll
little.
bend the cover back a little bit.
No crease, but
No crease.
but just a loop there.
Yeah. And, I've done that, or, do it from the other side.
Right.
No, he got very particular. He wanted me to hold the comic in this manner.
Like pinching it with your right hand.
Right. Thumb on the back, 4 fingers on the front, just at the spine.
Just barely on the spine.
Just barely on the spine. And to read it like this.
It's just slowly, beautifully caressing the pages as you turn them.
Yes. But making sure that the spine was pretty much always closed right at the edge.
There's always a fourth of an inch of the comic you can't see.
Right.
What a horrible person that
Yes. Because, he didn't want any creases in it, or he didn't want the spine bent back or anything like
It's
that.
an investment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, yeah, why would you even let someone read your book at all if you're going to be like that with it?
Exactly.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
So Echo Volume 1. That's the actual book we'll be reading.
Yeah, by Terry Moore. I've never read anything by Terry Moore.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright.
Which is surprising to me.
Yeah.
Seems like something I would be interested in.
Well, I'm sure we'll probably talk a lot more about him next week, because I have read quite a bit of his stuff. So
Sweet.
we'll do that. And, yes, we'll end the show here.
Yeah.
You can go home.
Well.
And I will sit on the couch and cry.
Oh. I will too, because I have to work all day tomorrow.
So do I. You're not the only one who has to work.
I am. I believe I'm the only one in America working tomorrow. Don't you assholes trying to pretend like you're working too.
Yeah, you're the 1%.
Yeah, I am. Occupy me, bitches.
Alright. Goodbye.
You can subscribe to Gutter Trash at iTunes or directly at guttertrash.net. If you go to iTunes, please leave us a review. You can email us at eric@guttertrash.net or jason@guttertrash.net. For more info, you can find us on Facebook, or you can go to seanborn.net or buyerbeware.guttertrash.net. Listen to our sister podcast, League Night, at league.guttertrash.net. Thank you for listening. Until next time.